You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the NBL Live pregame show that's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do our overlays, a bunch of graphics for us across all the network shows you see here on the NBL Network. Big shout out to all business over at Web3KS.com. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3KS.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm on with you. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver, taking you up to this Week 9 action. Finally, Week 9 coming to a close. Seems like it's been going on for roughly a year and a half. We got a great game today between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins in NFC East battle. Sonny, this monstrous week. It feels like we've been building this up since last cycle, but Week 9's finally coming to a close. We got a great matchup here on NBL Live.
Yeah, we've waited about 3 months to see it, it seems like. You mentioned earlier, Week 9, the longest advance. But nonetheless, here we are tonight, Monday Night Football, and ready to get after it.
All right, now before we talk about the game we have at hand tonight, let's take a look at what's going on around the network. And something that's going to be dropping just after NBL Live, folks. It's not up yet, but we're giving you a sneak preview right now. It is BTF, Detroit Lions, Sonny Weaver. Beast mode in Detroit. Gotta say, when you hook your gloves up to the helmet, you look like something out of Star Wars. Shout out to Star Wars coming out last week. But at the end of the day, beast mode in Detroit. Marshawn Lynch, we know this is a guy that owner Bomber has been a big fan of ever since he's come to Detroit. And they've been using him a lot at Detroit. Dare I say, might actually have a running game with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, they may have a running game. I'll be curious to see if he stays healthy for this season. I know that's been an issue for him historically. That injury,
yes, it has been. I'm sorry. Carry on.
What was that?
No, yes, it has been an issue. I'm just
carry on. So you know, the injury bug has really been a problem for Lynch. We'll see if he can stay healthy through the end of the season, because I think the Lions are going to need him when they hit the playoffs. Got to take some of that pressure off an aging Stafford.
You really just don't miss an opportunity to rag on Matt Stafford, do you?
Never.
It's unbelievable. Well, check that out right here on the network. Hit that subscribe button so you know when it goes live. You can check that out. They'll be dropping right after NBL Live. So that'll be a great show to check out. Of course, check out BTF Jacksonville Jaguars as well. All right, let's get to the players to watch for today's game between the Giants and the Redskins. First on the side of the Washington Redskins, it has been their #1 target for what feels like forever, Josh Doctson. He's having another great year, averaging 22.7 per catch, 21 receptions, 3 touchdowns. So far, I mean, Week 9, 3 touchdowns, probably a little lower than you'd like, but there are a lot of weapons on this passing attack, Sonny. I mean, you've got Josh Doctson, you've got Jordan Reed, and then you've, of course, got that potent running game. What does Josh Doctson bring to the table, and what is New York going to have to do to prepare for a wide receiver like Josh Doctson?
Well, I think they've got the secondary to protect themselves from a guy like Josh Doctson. The question I have is, can Josh Doctson break free over the top? They've got some pretty good cornerbacks out there that can run, and that's one of the things I'm curious about. Is if you look at this Redskins team, they like to take shots. That's what Josh Doctson does.
Josh Doctson, exactly.
If I'm the New York Giants, I'm going to play off a little bit, and I'm going to try to make them beat me underneath and try to win this game.
Well, on the flip side, I mean, who else to talk about but Odell Beckham Jr.? We saw OBJ get hurt. We saw him go out for a long stretch of time for this New York Giants team. I believe he got hurt in that Week 1 doubleheader, but he is back. Again, only 12 catches on the year because he's been hurt for so long, 210 receiving yards, only 1 touchdown. But we all know what OBJ is capable of. The question I have for you, Sonny, is with OBJ on the field, how much different of a team is this New York Giants team than they were, say, 2 weeks ago when OBJ wasn't playing?
Well, what he brings to the team is explosive plays. You watched last year, he was basically the leading receiver there, and it really wasn't all that close. The guy's a big play waiting to happen, especially getting over top of the receivers. I expect him to break 1 or 2 this game. You're not going to completely shut him out, but what you're trying to do is just contain him. slightly, look for maybe double coverage over there. Always having a safety over top of them is kind of what I would expect to see here from the Redskins.
All right, Sonny, we're about ready to get down to this game. We got to get your prediction. Get your guys' prediction in the chat. I've already seen a couple hashtag Team Porters, Porters Redskins, one of those teams from last season's playoffs everybody was sort of following, and they're having a nice season this year. Sonny, before I get your prediction, do you believe that this game could be the game that decides the division between these two powerhouses?
It's definitely in play. I know these two have kind of traded barbs back and forth. It's not a friendly rivalry. I'd say it's a heated rivalry. And this one's going to go a long way in determining that. Well,
yeah, I mean, how much of a must-win is this for the Giants? The Giants are a game back of the Redskins. A loss today puts them 2 game back at the Week 10 mark. I mean, there's a lot of football left in this one, but this could be a big loss if the New York Giants... I mean, tell me who you got in this game. Are the Redskins going to extend their lead in the NFC East? Or the New York Giants going to win today and tie up the top of that NFC East, creating a sprint to the finish after this Week 9 matchup?
I'm going to go with hashtag Sunny wins. Wait, wrong show.
Wrong show. We're not on
wrong
that show.
Sorry, folks. Just used to so much winning. Shout out Charlie Sheen. Anyways, let's go ahead.
Great reference from 2011. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Let's go ahead, and we are going to take the Washington Redskins in this one. I think that the New York Giants struggle to pass. I think Webb gets benched at some point in this game for throwing too many interceptions. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to say Washington Redskins win this one 24-14.
That'd be a big win for the Redskins on the road in New York. There's only one way to find out, folks. Let's get this game underway. Let's finally end the Week 9 that would never end. Coming up next, it's a battle for what could be a deciding game in the NFC East. It's the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. This one's personal, folks. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches and makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow.
That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. That's right, folks. We have a great matchup here tonight on NBL Live. It's the 5-2 Washington Redskins taking on the 4-3 New York Giants. These two teams battling for the top of the NFC East. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. Sonny, I mean, this matchup, I mean, you look at the standings right there. It's a 2-man race right now. Cowboys not out of a lot of football left, but you got to think the winner of the NFC East is coming from this game.
This is the game to determine the NFC East. We saw the matchup late last year, and it seemed like the Redskins were starting to get the upper hand in this rivalry. We're going to find out today who reigns supreme in the NFC East.
Well, it's going to be the New York Giants getting the ball first here at home. The crowd is popping, and we are ready, folks, for some Week 9 action here on NBL Live. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in this week, as it's going to be the New York Giants in Davis Webb coming out. Sonny, Davis Webb looked like a different quarterback without Odell Beckham out there. I mean, of course, Odell Beckham is a talent, but what do we have in Davis Webb? Is this one of the great young quarterbacks in the NBL, or is he just dependent on a superstar player?
I think he's superstar dependent. Now, he is coming off an injury, and I know they kind of rushed him back early, and we'll have to see how that works out today.
1st and 10, shotgun formation for Davis Webb. He's going to hand it off up the left side. That was Paul Perkins with the carry. No Petaway. I believe he is out for another 2 weeks. So they go to Paul Perkins behind him. He's not able to find anything there. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11.
Paul Perkins, he's a serviceable backup in the league. I know we've seen him before here on NBL Live. Have a decent game. It'd be nice if they had the younger back Petaway, but Perkins should be serviceable for the game plan tonight.
Second and 11 for Davis Webb, and the Giants dropping back to pass, staying in the pocket. Now rolling out to the right side, looking for somebody. Great coverage all across the field. He's eventually tossed it underneath to who else but Odell Beckham Jr. Only 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8. That Washington defense, man coverage all the way downfield, stuck with the receivers. But Davis Webb finds Beckham underneath, cuts it down to a 3rd and 8, 3rd and medium. And you got to think Davis Webb's going to be relying on Odell Beckham today. Shotgun formation for Davis Webb, 3 wide receivers. He's dropping back to pass. Looking over the middle of the field, it is complete, and it is a first down. The big hit almost propels him over the first down marker. And Gallman able to get 9 yards on the play. It's a big first down for the New York Giants.
Wayne Gallman, the young back out of Clemson, comes in there, gets the big catch. He got popped by the linebacker. He got cut down, and he holds onto the ball, and that's a big reception, big first down there for the New York Giants.
Sonny, do you like seeing a defensive player go for the cut tackle there as a really just great encroachment there that was declined because we're gentlemen here in the NBL. Do you like seeing the big hit, where the first down marker is, seeing the defender go for that big hit instead of trying to stand him up at the line?
Well, I think that's a fair assessment there. I think Gallman's got some nifty moves. I'm not sure I'd try to stand him up and risk getting spun off.
1st and 10, it's going to be handoff to Paul Perkins, who finds his way up to the 41-yard line, getting 5 yards on the play. But, Sonny, I think you saw there something that maybe the New York Giants coach staff don't like in Paul Perkins. I mean, that hole was open on the left side. He tried to stay right the entire time. Able to get 5 yards out of it, but who knows what would happen if he just hit the hole hard.
Vision was an issue there. The gap was back to his left. He needed to put his foot down on the ground and cut back upfield. Instead, he keeps trying to force it outside.
2nd and 5, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Davis Webb. Paul Perkins in the backfield as Webb changing up the play. It's going to be a play-action pass. Webb in the pocket, looking all the time. The world offensive line giving so much time. Now he's just going to chuck this one out of bounds. Takes a hit late. Lucky that wasn't a flag, but it's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. And so far, this Washington Redskins secondary defense that has been really victimized by the pass, one of the worst passing defenses in the league. They played well early in this game.
Yeah, and only 2 routes being ran there. So 2-route combination off play action. Nobody was buying it. Good play there to throw the ball away.
3rd and 5. Blitz coming. Webb gets it off. And he completes the pass to the 39-yard line. Looked like that was Ty with the catch. Looked like one of the Washington defenders, the safety, came up to make a big hit. Ty doing the smart thing, making the catch, making himself small, and able to get the first down for the Giants.
Great throw there by Webb. He drops it just over top of the linebacker in front of the safety, and Will Ty goes up and makes the play.
1st and 10 for Davis Webb and the New York Giants. 3 wide receivers out there. He's going to bring 2 wide receivers over to the left side. Beckham and Kelly on the left. Stokes on the right. Perkins to the right of Davis Webb. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff, little counter play for Paul Perkins, and he is spun down in the backfield. He's going to lose a couple on the play. Give him a 4-yard loss on the play. This New York Giants rushing attack having trouble getting early. A lot of that due to the fact they don't have their young running back, Petway. Paul Perkins trying to find something going here in the first half.
We heard about coming in this game, the running game was going to be a big part, and so far it's been shut down. 3 rushes, no yards.
They got a big formation out there now. Looks like 3 tight ends out there. It's going to be a handoff to Perkins up the middle. Doesn't matter how many big bodies you got. If you let the early penetration by the defensive line get in the backfield, you're going to lose yardage. Another 1-yard loss. Barr getting in the backfield. And so far, the Washington defensive line in the run game is winning the battle up front.
Yeah, the rookie first-round pick, Barr, is really a monster. He's tough to contain in there, especially when he's lined up right over top of the center in that nose tackle position. Got to watch him through this game. I'd look to maybe chip off of him.
Now look at this 3rd and 15. New York has converted 2 third downs already in this game. Both at 3rd and 5 or longer. It's Davis Webb dropping back to pass, stepping up, and he has got all the time in the world. He's going to take a deep shot over the middle. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Ty with the catch, splitting the safeties. And once again, Sonny Weaver, we've seen it happen 3 times in this game. On 3rd down, the Washington Redskins come out. They only bring a 3-man rush, get no pressure on Davis Webb. Webb has all the time in the world, and he finds a man over the middle. It's a big touchdown. New York with the early lead.
That was a big-time throw right there. So Webb puts it right in front of the strong safety. The free safety playing over top can't get there quick enough. That was a tight window for Davis Webb to try to throw to. I am impressed by that throw.
Yeah, that's a beautiful throw, but we've already seen on 3 third down, Sonny, no pressure being brought by the Washington Redskins. And so far, Davis Webb has been very successful throwing the ball because he doesn't have to worry about any pressure coming from anywhere. And right there, he was able to dissect the defense, make a beautiful throw down the middle of the field.
Yes, beautiful throw. I'm excited about Davis Webb tonight. He looks on.
Well, now we can see this Washington Redskins offense come out and see what they can do. First, starting out in a 3 tight end set. Whiteside, the only wide receiver out there on the left side. It's a play action pass on 1st and 10. Looking over to the left side, and that one is just stone cold overthrow. Zach Belisari, another young star here in the NBL. Maybe a little bit of the jitters here on the roads because it was man coverage. That seemed like a perfect opportunity. The crossing route was open. He just put a little too much mustard on that one.
You know, we throw that term star around quite often. I'm not sure I would call Belisari a star. I'd say he's a good young up-and-coming quarterback, but star may be a little bit too much right now.
2nd and 10. Bunch formation for Belisari. He's dropped back to pass once again. Look at the C route. It's open. It's Whiteside with the catch. He's got room. He's past the 50. Looking to make a man miss. He'll go out of bounds at the 42-yard line. 34 yards on the play. On the young receiver, Whiteside able to come up with the catch. Little C route and man coverage, and he's just so hard to man up and able to get into enemy territory up to the 42-yard line.
And Eli Apple out there was playing an outside breaking coverage, and so he got roped into going inside with it on the fake. Got spun around going to the outside. Apple's got to play that better.
Belisari dropping back to pass again on 1st and 10. Looking over to the left side. Oh, trying to keep his feet in bounds. They're saying he was out. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Wayne Whiteside, the second-year player out of Liberty, undrafted free agent. The Washington Redskins like what they have in this guy. We've already seen him make one big catch in this game. Now it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Washington Redskins. I formation, 2 wide receivers out there. Whiteside to the left, Doxson to the right. Doxson coming over from the right side, over to the left side. And on 2nd and 10, it's going to be a handoff to Lewis. Nice hole on the outside. He's going to get 4 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. So far, Washington is showing that they're ready to air it out in this game.
A good run there by Dion Lewis. I felt like the linebacker Mitchell did a good job of kind of shedding his block and getting there because it looked like Lewis was going to have a nice little gap to the outside. Mitchell does a good job shedding the tackle, getting that down across the body and bringing down Dion Lewis. Lewis is kind of a shifty back. He's a little bit underrated.
Yeah, certainly an underrated back. We saw him in New England in the early part of his career. Now, feature back here in Washington, 3rd and 6 for the Washington Redskins. It looks like they're set up a little screen pass. Dion Lewis, this is where he can be so good. He catches the ball, trying to get to the 1st down marker. Did he have enough? I think he did. Yes, sir. 1st and 10. And that's what Dion Lewis can do with the injury to Samaje Perine. Dion Lewis has come into this game and has turned what as a guy who's been normally thought as that scat back, that 3rd down back. He's really taken the reins and added a new dimension to this Washington Redskins offense.
Definitely. Dion Lewis has been a stud since he got here.
1st and 10. It's going to be Belisari under center. Play action pass. Great block. Oh, but a dangerous throw into double coverage. Looking for Jordan Reed. Belisari's got to make better decisions than that, as he had a better option out there, Sonny. Lucky that those New York Giants defenders got stone hands. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Poor read there by Belisari. We haven't seen many of those from him recently, but definitely was keen in on that throw from the very start. That is not what this guy wants to be doing here.
2nd and 10 for the Washington Redskins. It's going to be Belisari dropping back to pass. Quick 3-step drop. Throws it to the left side. It is complete to Whiteside once again. And another 1st down up to the 18-yard line. And so far, the Washington Redskins, Belisari doing a nice job of recognizing man coverage, throwing it to Whiteside. They feel like they've got a real mismatch on the outside when Whiteside is one-on-one.
They really like Whiteside, but what I've noticed, they really like throwing to the receivers outside the numbers. Haven't seen a lot of inward breaking routes, a lot of stuff outside those hash marks.
Belisari dropping back to pass, free rusher up the middle, so Belisari gets rid of it quickly, finds the tight end underneath to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the play as old Greg Olsen still kicking around here in the NBL here in Washington. Is finding a nice role as sort of a secondary tight end for this Washington Redskins team. Going to bring up a 2nd and 6.
And Landon Collins with the tackle there. Landon Collins still one of the better safeties in the NBL, and a guy you got to watch and find when you're throwing down the field.
2nd and 6, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Doxson coming in motion from the right side to the left. Perine into the game. He takes the carry. And this is sort of where Samaje Perine has fallen out of favor a little bit, Sonny. Perine was the #1 back in Washington, but they don't like what he does when he gets into those tackles. It seems like he's not breaking those tackles as much as he used to, and they like the speed of Dion Lewis a little better.
Dion Lewis has kind of supplanted Samaje Perine because his ability to get outside and also his ability to catch out of the backfield.
And his ability to stay healthy. Perine's been injured almost every season in the NBL. 3rd and 5. It's a handoff to Dion Lewis up the middle as he shakes off one tackler, but just not enough room up the middle. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3. Sonny, a very curious play calling there. We saw this team come down. I mean, started out with 7 pass plays, 1 rushing play. And then on this scenario, they get very conservative. They run it 2 straight times. They don't throw it to try to get that first down. And they're only going to come out with 3 points. They do get points nonetheless, but you got to be disappointed if you're a Washington Redskins fan.
Well, and this is looking like a shootout. And so I wonder how big those 4 points they don't have on the board right now are going to come back to affect them. Because if you look at that first drive, Davis Webb looked to be in the zone. This is a big drive coming up for New York, or excuse me, for Washington. If they can't find a way to slow down this offense, this could become a bad night here for Washington quickly.
Yeah, we have seen games when Davis Webb is on, this team is at another level, especially with the weapons they have. Webb finds a way. I mean, again, Ty with 2 big catches. Not one of the more well-known players here in the NBL. Of course, everybody looks at OBJ. Sterling Shepard, who's still out with an injury. But Davis Webb does such a great job of spreading the ball around when he is on. It's when he gets under pressure, and that's where Washington knew one of their keys was to get an early lead and get some early pressure on Davis Webb, because when he's under early pressure, he makes mistakes. His little PAFK quick action, it's complete to the outside as that juke move still real good in this game. It's a first down for the New York Giants. We've reached the end of the first quarter.
You had a little bit of a mid-air collision there. You had the cornerback coming from right to left. He actually runs into the cornerback coming across on the crosser left to right, and that frees up the wide receiver there, Stokes, to get free down the field.
1st and 10. Bunch formation to the right for Davis Webb. 1 wide receiver over to the left. It's Odell Beckham. Paul Perkins in the backfield. New York's run game, the one thing that has been a negative in this game, they have not been able to get the run game going. Webb is going to hand it off to Paul Perkins, and Paul Perkins is going to be taken down once again. 5 carries, -1 yards. No gain on that play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and really the tackle there kind of lost his footing, it looked like, and got shed quickly. The line for the Giants, I'm starting to wonder if they just can't run block is the issue.
Yeah, certainly we haven't seen a whole lot of big holes for Paul Perkins to work his way through. It's been pretty tough sledding early in this game. 2nd and 10. Play action pass for Davis Webb as he rolls out to the right side. He finds the man. I believe that is Ty once again with the catch up to the 43-yard line. Just short of the first down, going to bring up a 3rd and 2. Davis Webb spreading the ball around early in this game, and now they've got themselves on a 3rd and short.
Well, I wouldn't say he's spreading the ball around. He had 3 receptions, 72 yards for Ty right now. It's almost 70% of the yards they've thrown. You're finding out right now that Davis Webb's finding a lot of security in his tight end. Right now, if I'm the Washington Redskins, I'm going to start hitting Ty off the line.
3rd and 2. 2 wide receivers over the left. Ty, the 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. Quick drop for Davis Webb. Looking, can't find anyone. He rolls out, looking, and he gets hit as he throws. Oh, dangerous throw as the pressure was coming. And finally, the Washington Redskins defense able to get a stop there. It's going to bring up a 4th and 2. New York's going to try to play the field position game here from the 43-yard line. But that was just purely a coverage play there. Once again, Washington very reluctant to bring pressure on 3rd down.
Not getting a lot of pressure right now. That must be something they saw in the film. Now, something else they should have saw in the film, they moved Odell Beckham there to the slot. It was a twin set there to the left. And anytime I see Beckham in the slot, I'm checking out of that cover 3 because I think he's kind of the target, getting him in the slot there. I'm probably going to more of a cover 2 man look and then making sure I play that inside leverage.
1st and 10 as the Redskins pin deep on the 5-yard line. Great punt there by the New York Giants. Got 3 tight ends out there, 1 wide receiver. That wide receiver is Whiteside on the left side. It's a play action pass. Sorry, gets hit, and it's a safety, so it turns into points anyways for the New York Giants. Oh, boy, that's the first safety I've seen on NBL Live in a long time, Sonny Weaver. The blitz came. New York brought pressure and cashed in for 2 points, and New York's now going to have great field position, looking to go up even more in this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about play action from the 5-yard line, especially when you have that many guys run routes. It looked like they had 4 men running routes there. That's a little rough there. I'm not sure about the play call there.
That's a bold call. That's a bold call, Cotton, and it did not work out well for the Washington Redskins. Now down 9-3 pistol formation. It's a play action pass. Looking for a wide receiver screen on the outside. They have a man. Oh, nice pursuit to bring him down at the 49-yard line. Stokes, his second catch on the day. It's going to go for 7 yards on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 3.
Hey, on that safety, did you throw your hands over the air making the little safety signal?
I did not.
Why not?
I failed you. I'm sorry, Sonny. It was more because I was too in shock that it actually happened. I was too baffled by a play action call pinned that deep in your own zone. I didn't really know how to react. As the handoff to Paul Perkins, finally a hole for Perkins. He gets 8 yards on the play up to the 41-yard line. It's a first down for the New York Giants.
First run by Paul Perkins tonight that actually was decent, and when you look at it, it was because the line was creating some pretty nice holes there for Perkins' run through. I'm kind of wondering now if I'm New York, if I don't go play action shot off that play, really just try to cement this one right now. Just take that deep shot down the field, maybe down the center of the field, and see what happens.
1st and 10, 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. That's Odell Beckham on the left side of the formation. I formation, Paul Perkins at the top of that I. As on 1st and 10, Davis Webb surveying the defense. He's going to bring a tight end from the right over to the left, and on 1st down, hand off to Paul Perkins once again. Little room over there, gets up to the 38-yard line, give him 3 yards on the play, and bring up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know if I was averaging about a yard a rush, I would just keep hammering the run game.
Donnie, I feel like you weren't being sincere on that one.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, you know, whatever. 2nd and 7 now for the New York Giants. It's going to be Davis Webb dropping back into the pistol formation. Still 1 wide receiver out to the left side, 2 tight ends, and Paul Perkins in the backfield, bringing Ellison over to the right side, and they're going to hand the ball off to Paul Perkins once again. They're hammering that run game, and Paul Perkins gets his allotted 1 yard on that run. Going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
And what they don't want to do right now is average more than 1 yard a carry, obviously, by the New York Giants offensive line. And the offensive game plan, just keep pounding for 1 yard. Eventually, you'll have to punt the ball.
I mean, exactly how many downs do you get? I think they're looking at that little, the old school, there are no first downs, just pound it forward as Davis Webb stepping up in the pocket, and he's going to take off. Oh, that 40 speed was not good, and he still somehow got the first down. I'm not sure how he got there. Took a big hit, held on to the ball, almost looked like he was in slow motion there trying to get to the first down marker.
That was really weird, and it almost looked like he was thinking about sliding, almost like he was hesitating, getting ready to go into a slide. Instead, he stays up and gets rocked for doing so.
It almost like he was running and like thinking, this is a bad idea, this is a bad idea, this is bad. But he was still moving forward at a snail's pace. Nonetheless, it works as it's shotgun formation now for Davis Webb. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Perkins to the right of Davis Webb, and on 1st and 10, it's a play action pass. They're going to throw it now, looking still all the time in the world, and finally someone comes open. It is complete down to the 1 yard line. Stokes comes up with a catch. And once again, this Washington Redskins defensive line, they've done a great job of bottling up the run game, but they have not gotten any pressure on Davis Webb.
No pressure at all, and that was a long developing route. Stokes going all the way from the right to left. Got to find a way to get some pressure here.
1st and goal, quick 3-step drop.
There's some.
Hey, there's the pressure right there. Allen gets the sack just in time on the 1 yard line, bringing him down for a 6 yard loss. So we're going to hit the 2-minute warning. New York looking to extend their lead. Washington looking to hang on for dear life.
Yeah, Jonathan Allen coming up with a big sack there, and now you get the 2nd and goal. A lot of inside crossing routes we've seen so far from the Giants. Opposite of what Washington's been doing, working a lot of outside the number routes. So if I'm New York, I'm flooding the inside of my defense, and I'm trying to make them throw to the outside.
2nd and goal, bunch formation to the right for Davis Webb, 1 wide receiver over to the left side. Paul Perkins in the backfield. 2nd and goal from the 7 yard line. It's going to be a toss play to Paul Perkins, trying to find some room on the outside, and Perkins, unbelievably, I mean, if he stays outside, I think he probably gets in the end zone. Cuts it back inside, which looks like it's going to end up in a loss. Then just sort of sidesteps forward and gets 4 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and goal.
Well, that's all because can we talk about number 53 of the Redskins overrunning, over-pursuing Perkins, and really they should have scored a touchdown because he just whiffed on any sort of contact there.
Now a 3rd and goal for the New York Giants. Shotgun formation for Davis Webb. 4 wide receivers. And Paul Perkins in the backfield with Davis Webb. 3rd and goal. They're going to use up all the time that they can here in the first half surveying the defense. It's going to be Webb dropping back to pass. Quick 3-step drop. Looking, looks over the middle. Oh, and he finds a man. It's a touchdown for the New York Giants. And right there, it looked like the middle linebacker covering the middle just got a little antsy, sidestepped a little bit to the right. Webb recognizing it, getting his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. And it's starting Davis Webb early in this game. He looks real good for the New York Giants to extend their lead to 16-3.
Davis Webb looking really good as long as you don't ask him to run right now. Geez, that was not a good idea. But the New York Giants driving well. We talked about it earlier. Washington needs to try to answer. Time's running out right now. You've got 1:17 before half. If you score here, you're within range. I believe the Redskins will get the ball back after half. So Washington needs to put points up here.
J-Rod saying, never heard OSU say looking so much. Well, Davis Webb's got about 7 seconds in the pocket every time he drops back to pass. It's just unbelievable. The Washington Redskins are very comfortable letting Davis Webb dissect their defense. And at this point, it's so far working out great for the Redskins. They're down 16-3. Coming off that safety, trying to avoid that happening. They're on the 25-yard line, much farther away. As Zach Belisari, quick throw to the right side, and that one would have worked if Greg Olsen was about 7'9". Unfortunately, Greg Olsen is human sized, and that's an incomplete pass.
And Belisari, that's the second errant throw we've seen tonight. Not really setting his feet well. It seems kind of still moving around the pocket. Needs to set his feet and drive off that back leg.
2nd and 10. He's going to move a bunch formation to the right side. Jameson Crowder, the only one on the left side. Shotgun formation. As Belisari drops back to pass on 2nd and 10, looking deep over the middle, and he finds Whiteside. I'm not sure if Whiteside was the intended target there. Another really inaccurate pass, and on the flip side, Sonny, as they hurry back to the line, Davis Webb's looked good in this game. Zach Belisari has been incredibly inconsistent with his throws.
And even on that throw, he was a little high, and that was a lucky throw.
Did that make it past the line of scrimmage? Was that enough to avoid intentional grounding? I don't think any quarterback school you find, Sonny Weaver, you can correct me if I'm wrong, teaches the run away, turn your back to the downfield, and then just spin and throw it out of bounds.
The old spin around, throw it out of bounds. It works ever.
It does not work. 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation, 5 wide receivers out there for Zach Belisari looking to get going in this game. He looks down the middle of the field, and Crowder... Oh, Jay, he's gonna go back to the huddle and ask Zach Belisari what exactly he did to make him hate him, as that was a big hit, putting Crowder into danger's way. Lucky he's not injured on the play. It's gonna bring him a 3rd and 10.
That was a dangerous throw there for both Crowder and Belisari, because Belisari easily could have gotten that picked off. It looked like the safety was going to break on that. Instead, takes out the wide receiver.
3rd and 10 now for the Washington Redskins. Looking to get something going at the end of the first half. Zach Belisari dropping back. Blitz coming. It is picked up nicely. He finds Doxson on the outside, who stays inbounds. I believe he gets the first down at the 46-yard line. What a job by Josh Doxson. First time we've called his name today. Breaking a tackle, staying inbounds, and then using his momentum to get over the first down marker.
He tiptoes himself over the line. I would have liked to see Washington call a timeout. They're spending a lot of time trying to get set here with under 30 seconds now left on the clock.
And now Belisari changing up the play as we're down under 30 seconds. Zach Belisari dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. He looks over the middle of the field. He finds Josh Doxson at the 26-yard line. Now they use one of those timeouts with 22 seconds to go. And it seems like when the chips are down, Washington needing to play, they're relying on their number 1 wide receiver, our player to watch in this game, Josh Doxson.
Why aren't we just glad we're watching him?
He's been fantastic so far when they've actually looked for him. 1st and 10, I formation now, 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. That is Whiteside on the left side of that formation, as that hurts to say. Whiteside on the left side. It's going to be a handoff to Samaje Perine. On the 26-yard line with 22 seconds to go, the Washington Redskins decide to run the ball with a back they have lost confidence in and only get 2 yards on the play.
Out of a heavy formation with... That was just questionable all around.
And you'd say it's the most questionable call of the game, but I think that would go to the play-action pass on the 5-yard line. But that one takes a firm second.
Oh, Washington, what are you doing?
I mean, and this is one of those games where if Washington comes away with a loss and back into a tie for the division lead, they're going to be looking at this coaching effort as Zach Belisari tosses it up into double coverage. Whiteside with an unbelievable play, just get his hands on it to make sure it's not intercepted. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Sonny, so far the New York Giants are outplaying Washington in just about every facet of the game, and they're being outcoached as well.
Right there, what you saw, you saw that cornerback drift underneath, so you had bracket coverage. It really didn't make sense to throw that ball.
as Zach Belisari driving back to pass on 3rd and 8, looks over the middle of the field, and he throws an interception. It's a beautiful pick by the New York Giants as Janoris Jenkins coming up with the interception. Sonny, I saw what Belisari was looking for. It looked like Jenkins used his small frame. You almost couldn't see him in coverage, and then he just struck and was able to intercept the ball and get Washington to come away with no points on that drive.
Yeah, you pretty much explained it there. He miscalculated Jenkins' ability to get over and make that play. And, yeah, the play calling there down the stretch is going to be a little bit questionable when they get to the locker room.
Well, 16-3, the New York Giants on top in this game here at home. Washington going to get the ball to start the second half. But, Sonny, was there any positives you can take away from the first half from the Washington Redskins?
They're only allowed 16 points with some sort of weird aversion to blitzing the quarterback. So, I mean, I guess if you're not going to get any pressure on a quarterback, only giving up 16.5 isn't the worst thing in the world.
And Josh Doctson has played very well. He's run some the wide receivers for Washington have made some great plays considering how erratic Zach Belisari has been early in this game. 1st and 10, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Zach Belisari. He's on 1st down. He's going to hand it off to Samaje Perine. Perine doing his best Paul Perkins impression, getting 1 yard on the play. Bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the running game for both teams has really just been horrible. And I think at this point, if I'm Washington, I've got to try to establish something. You've got time, but it can't be just 1 yard a pop.
2nd and 9 as Belisari drops back to pass. Blitz coming. Oh, he had a lot of people coming at him. He tosses it up for Whiteside, and it is intercepted. Eli Apple with the pick on the outside. Breaks a tackle. He's still going. He's up past the 45, up to the 42-yard line. The pressure got in the face of Zach Belisari. Belisari chucks it up, one-on-one play for the young Whiteside, and Eli Apple rips that one down, the 2nd turnover of the game. And Sonny Weaver, the New York Giants firmly in control as they have great field position on the 42-yard line.
When Belisari threw that ball, I thought he was throwing the crosser there to Olsen. It looked like he was wide open, but instead he loads up and throws it into coverage.
I mean, for all we know, as inaccurate as he's been, he might have been throwing the crossing route.
Well, at that point, Olsen was on the other side of the field from him, but
does not change my answer.
I completely understand, but again, Belisari just not seeing the field. I know pressure was coming down his face, but you got to make that play.
2nd and 9 now for the New York Giants. Paul Perkins got his 1 yard on 1st down. 2 wide receivers. This is going to be Davis Webb dropping back to pass on 2nd down. He's looking deep down the field. Does he have enough touch on it? Nope. Just a little too much air under that one. Looking for Ty on the, I think that was the post route that came all the way from the right side of the field as Washington continues to not get any pressure on Davis Webb. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they got to get more aggressive here on defense. They're sending 3 and 4 guys. I need to start seeing 5 or 6 guys with the way they're not getting pressure.
3rd and 9, Davis Webb dropping back to pass. Another 3-man rush here from Washington. And Davis Webb finally looking a little human as he had Stokes open over the middle, overthrew him. It's going to bring about 4th down as Washington is going to be, or New York is going to be forced to punt this one away after a great play by Eli Apple. They only gain a yard on the play. A little erratic from Davis Webb, a little bit of the young gun showing his youth. And right there, he had 2 open wide receivers and couldn't find him, but another great play by the New York Giants special teams. They down at the 5-yard line. And Sonny, if you're a Washington Redskins fan, you are watching this play probably under a blanket, looking a little scared right now because last time they were on the 5-yard line did not end up well for the Washington Redskins.
No, didn't win well, and so far, New York's punting unit has been great, pinning them inside the 5-yard line now twice. At some point, Washington's going to have to try to field one of these and give themselves a little bit more room to work from.
1st and 10, I formation. Let's see what the Redskins decide to do. They're going to run a little counter play with Samaje Perine, and Perine is going to get a less than nothing. He's going to go backwards to the 4-yard line, losing a yard on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11.
And you're inside your own 5, and you're running a slow developing counter play. At this point, I'm wondering, where's Dion Lewis? Where's the swing pass? Where's the toss? Got to get that guy outside and use his speed to try to give you some breathing room. Right now, having Samaje Perine in this game does not make sense.
Ooh, shotgun formation from the 4-yard line for the Washington Redskins. Belisari dropping back to pass. Looking over the middle of the field, and that one absolutely should have been intercepted. It was thrown directly to the safety. The safety just appeared to have taken his eyes off the ball. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 11. Washington pinned back in their own territory and not looking like they're going to find their way out.
And Josh Doxson was again open on the play. He beat the cornerback. Oh, cornerback actually playing inside, thinking he's coming across. Instead, they break outside, and he's running free. And instead, Belisari airmails one down the middle of the field.
Yeah, Zach Belisari not doing his case much justice. Is trying to stay in that sort of young guns, young stars of the NBL. Not doing great here on NBL Live. He has been all over the place, and that's why they're down 16-3 as play clock running down, gets it off with 1 second to go. Blitz coming, quick throw to the outside, and finally Zach Belisari not only made the correct decision, but put the ball on the money. He finds Whiteside on the out route. It's a first down for the Washington Redskins as they have finally found a way to move down the field.
Well, and they're exposing New York's interest in running a lot of man coverage. Good call there by the coaching staff.
1st and 10, Belisari in the shotgun. Doxson coming in motion from the right side. Looks like they might be setting up this little swing pass to Doxson. It is complete, so he cuts it up the middle. Not a whole lot there, but he'll get 7 yards on the play. Which 6 more yards than they've gotten with Paul Perkins running the ball on first down. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 4.
And more man coverage we're seeing by New York there. Will be interesting to see if we get a zone play here and if Washington can recognize that and not throw it into coverage.
2nd and 4 for the Washington Redskins. Zach Belisari under center, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Dion Lewis into the game at halfback. They're going to toss it to Dion Lewis, and Lewis just sort of crumples near the first down marker. I don't think he got it. Nope, they're going to call him just short. It's going to bring up a 3rd and inches. That was one of the odder ways I've seen a player go down in the NBL. Very
strange the way Dion Lewis just kind of collapses there. Not sure what that was about.
Might have been a heart attack. We're not really sure here. 3rd and inches. They're going to try to throw for this one as, oh boy. Well, Dion Lewis apparently is on the list of Zach Belisari hates him. That one was just a bad decision all around, and he's lucky Dion Lewis isn't dead.
Okay, so watching that play and the preceding couple plays, what I figured out is the problem is Zach Belisari is trying to make his reads pre-snap. And what that means is, hold on here as they return this kick.
This is a nice return. He's up to the 50, the 45.
Ooh,
spins off a tackle, but finally staying down at the 42-yard line. So great field position once again for the New York Giants. But carry on. What are you seeing in Zach Belisari?
Well, what Zach Belisari is seeing, he's getting confused by the pre-snap read. New York's kind of confusing them. They're disguising coverage. They're staying in a base alignment. And so everything's looking like cover 2 pre-read. That last play, they rolled into cover 3. And Belisari's not expecting that to happen. And really, he missed the tight end running open down the middle of the field. Instead, going for this dump-off pass, and that was not the correct read there.
Yeah, not a great play. Davis Webb dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. He's looking over to the left side. It's picked by Moreau. Let's see if the defense can get something going as he's going to take this one up and spins. What is happening? I feel like I'm watching the Twilight Zone version of this game as the Washington Redskins appear to have gotten into the Kool-Aid, and that Kool-Aid was spiked. But finally the defense makes a play, able to force a turnover. Yeah,
not what I would call an impressive spin move, but nonetheless, congratulations.
It did spin. It was a spin move. 1st and 10 for Washington. Zach Belisari looks over the middle of the field. He finds Fitzgerald. The veteran Larry Fitzgerald in Washington gets up to the 32-yard line. It's a first down for the Washington Redskins. Maybe that interception breathed a little life into the offense. They need to get something going. While we have a moment here in the 3rd quarter, I want to give a big shout-out, as always, to our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. We talk about them all the time. They do the graphics you see here on NBL Live. They really help us out all over the network. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3KS.com. They're the leaders in affordable graphic design. Big shout out to all business over at Web3KS. We appreciate all of your support. As Belisari looks over the middle of the field once again, he finds Samaje Perine on a little Texas route. He gets up to the 7-yard line. Belisari finally making some nice reads. New York bringing a lot of blitzes, and so far Washington's been able to beat them with the little short routes over the middle that are turning into big gainers. Washington's got 1st and goal.
Well, you're still getting a lot of man coverage here from New York, and they're still baseline. So right there, it gave a cover 3 look pre-snap, and then what you saw is that safety kind of bailed out in a cover 1 technique. Belisari kind of reading the plays now.
Dion Lewis, wow, he is shifty, able to get up to the 3-yard line, and that's what they like about Dion Lewis that they don't like about Samaje Perine. Lewis showing off the agility, able to turn what looked like was going to be a loss into a nice gain, set up a 2nd and goal.
Dion Lewis right now showing why he should be getting the majority of the carries in this offense.
Two
As
tight ends.
P. Ryan comes in.
Yeah, P. Ryan comes into the game, and it's a big formation. It looks like they got two tight ends on the right side of that formation on second goal. They're going to hand it to Samaje P. Ryan. Well, it turns out when you got a hole that big to run through, doesn't matter who is carrying it. They could have given that to an offensive lineman. It's a touchdown for the Washington Redskins. The throwbacks finally find their way into the end zone. They cut it to a 16-9 lead pending this extra point. Ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And Washington breathes a little life into their team. They get a big touchdown off the interception. It's a 16-10 ball game. Sonny, New York still outplaying Washington in every facet. It just looks like Washington was able to capitalize off a turnover, something that New York really hasn't been able to do.
And that's the big point right there. You know, Washington throws the bad interception on the preceding drive. New York turns around, throws it right back. Excuse me. You've just got to wonder. Washington, looking back on this game, has been able to capitalize on some of the mistakes made by New York. New York has not capitalized on those yet. So let's see if New York now can put together a good drive, a Paul Perkins-led drive here.
1st and 10. It's a play-action pass. Toss underneath is complete to Ty. He's got the first down and more. Big hit at the 48-yard line, but Webb finding the tight end Ty. He's having a big game so far. It's a first down for the New York Giants. Yeah, New York has 2 interceptions of Zach Belisari. One right at the end of the first half, didn't turn into anything. And one in the second half, put them in great position. They only got a yard and were forced to punt it away. Washington able to convert a turnover into points, and we'll see if that comes back to bite the New York Giants. This is 1st and 10 for Davis Webb and the Giants. 2 wide receivers to each side. Paul Perkins in the backfield, 1st and 10. Webb under center, surveying the defense. He's going to split 2 wide receivers out, or 3 wide receivers out. We put Will Ty on the line. Quick 3-step drop. Looking into the flat, it's complete to Paul Perkins, who makes the man miss and is able to gain no yards on the play. The Paul Perkins special, that counts as a rush, by the way. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Good for Perkins. Good for Perkins. They're getting another 1-yard rush.
No, he didn't get any yards on that play.
Oh, well, that's going to hurt. His average is going down now. That's unfortunate.
JY saying so for P. Ryan to get to 100 yards, he just needs 80 more carries. Yeah, they're on the Paul Perkins rushing plan. 2nd and 10. Davis Webb dropping back to pass, looking, and finally the defensive line gets some pressure. They're going to bring him down for a sack at the 40-yard line. Omayo, or that guy's name starts with Io. He got the sack. It's 8 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
And right now, I think what you just saw there was Davis Webb get exposed. He wanted Will Ty there from the very start, and Ty was getting banged around by the linebackers and never really got a clean release. Kind of interesting to watch now as he's kind of targeting Will Ty out of every play, it looks like.
Yeah, you got to think, yep, Washington bringing only a 3-man rush on this play. Davis Webb stepping up and finding a man over the middle. It is complete to the 37-yard line. As Kelly with the catch, 1st and 10, Washington. I feel like the Washington coaching staff, like they have somebody whose family was killed by a blitz because they are offended by blitzing in this game.
They do not want to blitz them.
It's just like, it's morally, it's religiously offensive to them. They're the anti-blitz religion. As it's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter, New York on top 16-10 and driving as they convert another 3rd and long. And Sonny, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever happens in this game, it's all going to come back to the coaching decisions by the Washington Redskins specifically. The play calling has been, would a good word be bizarre?
Bizarre, interesting, bad, all work.
Take your pick. 1st and 10. Davis Webb dropping back to pass on 1st down, looking, flag on the play. This one is intercepted by the Washington Redskins. Brown with a pick will check the flag. 2nd turnover of the day pending, as it is going to be a hold against the New York Giants. That's going to be declined. Washington gets their 2nd turnover and life. You can hear the boo birds raining down on Davis Webb and the New York Giants. Webb, who looked so good in the first half, Sonny Weaver's falling apart here in the 2nd half.
Well, guess who was targeting there on that pass?
Was it Will Ty?
Was Will Ty. Webb's being exposed now for being overly reliant on his tight end.
Tight end. I get it. Ha-ha! Oh, boy. 1st and 10 play action pass for Zach Belisari. Looks over the middle. He finds Crowder. He gets the 1st down up to the 45-yard line. Belisari, he's completed his last 4 passes, maybe getting into a little rhythm, which is exactly what the Washington Redskins need from their young quarterback. They need him to get into a rhythm, to get them down the field and get a touchdown and get into the lead. So we appreciate each and every one of you tuning into MBL Live. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Sonny Weaver. We've got Week 9 action here in the NBL. It's the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants battle for the top of the division. Washington has a 1-game lead over the New York Giants as of right now. New York up 16-10 though, looking to tie up the division, create a sprint to the finish. As 2 tight ends on the right side of the formation now, it's going to be a handoff right up the middle to Samaje Perine. Finds a little bit of room. Give him 4 yards on the play. 6 carries, 10 yards, and a touchdown. That's a stat line that not even a mother could love.
Yeah, the Washington Redskins, the New York Giants. Not a game if you like old school running football, because it really just isn't any.
No, there's no semblance of a rushing attack right now. For either team, it has been basically the passing games determining this one as 2nd and 6. Reed coming in motion from the right side. As on second down, it's going to be a play-action pass. Zach Belisari looking to pass. Looks over to the right side. It's complete to Greg Olsen up to the 30-yard line. The ageless wonder, Greg Olsen, 19 yards on the play. Washington's in business. They're on the 30-yard line. Sonny, we've seen Greg Olsen get catches. We really haven't seen Jordan Reed involved in the offense at all.
No, not at all. But as this momentum shifting, I'm wondering if you're going to see a lot more tight end work just in general here from Washington.
1st and 10 for Zach Belisari. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, dropping back to pass, looking underneath. Finds Greg Olsen once again, who's going to fight for it. I think he's got the first down at the 20-yard line. Yes, he does indeed. 10 yards on the play. Old Greg still working for this offense as Washington moves into the red zone.
Greg Olsen finding a way to get open. The ageless wonder, Greg Olsen.
1st and 10. Belisari dropping back to pass. Quick pass. And Jordan Reed finally gets a catch, and he muscles his way down to the 2-yard line. Oh, Sonny, you called it, though. Getting tight end dependent, and so far it has been working for the Washington Redskins. Their big tight ends have been able to get some huge catches and work their way down to a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. What a change we've seen in this game. Washington looked dead and out not 1 quarter ago.
Well, they figure if New York rely heavily on the tight end, maybe they should give it a try, too. I'm surprised New York hasn't tried to flood the middle of the field with their zones and see if they can try to pick one of those off.
2 tight ends to the left side for Zach Belisari. I formation, Samaje Perine at the top of that I. Boy. Well, you come out in a heavy set. You ran it last time you were in that heavy set, and Samaje Perine was victim to some free rushers up the middle. Landon Collins with the tackle. Going to make a 2nd and goal.
7 for 7. 1 yard to carry.
Whew, that's...
Oh, this isn't good.
Monster formation. Whoa, buddy. And New York's got a lot of people in the box, so you... Yeah, there's that timeout. Can't audible out of that one. They made a mistake immediately when they called that play. It's still 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line.
Not a good call.
They at least called a timeout on this one.
The play calling in the red zone has been an issue for Washington in this game. They did score once, but so far their 3rd time down here is looking a lot like the 1st time.
Shotgun formation for Zach Belisari. He's got 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Josh Jackson, the only one on that right side. He comes in motion on 2nd and goal. It's going to be Belisari dropping back to pass, looking for Doxson, and oh, Lord, he is lucky that one wasn't picked off. That was covered the entire way, a little cover 2 in the end zone. Now a 3rd and goal for the Washington Redskins, needing a touchdown to go up in this game.
Hey, and I saw somebody in the chat ask if this is 4-down territory. I think it is. I think at this point, you go for it on 4th down. You're kind of figuring out the Giants on defense, but I wouldn't trust the fact I can cover Odell Beckham on a game-winning drive. I think you got to go for it here, and you got to try to put yourself up.
I don't know. 3rd and goal, if you don't get this one, how bad have you been in the red zone? If you don't get it, you kick a field goal, cut it to a 1-score game with that field goal. You really take a lot of pressure off your offense.
Never mind.
Or you just throw an interception and just, don't even have it be a question. As he tried to take it out. Nope, he stayed in the end zone.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
Oh, Zach Belisari. Yeah, that one, Well, the Washington Redskins need their defense to step up once again. If there's one thing that is a positive, it has been that this team hasn't been able to run the ball at all. Toss play to the outside for Paul Perkins. He's going to get a couple on the play, 3 times as much as he usually gets, 3 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think what both teams have learned in the second half of this game is when you rely heavily on inside breaking routes into zone coverage, there's going to be a lot of interceptions thrown.
2nd and 7 now for the New York Giants. Shotgun formation for Davis Webb. Perkins to his right. 3 wide receivers out there. It's going to be Davis Webb dropping back to pass on 2nd and 7. And he airmails that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. It stops the clock. Again, folks, if it's your first time joining us, the NBL rules state you cannot kill the clock until under the 2-minute warning. So there's still lots of time left. Now a big 3rd and 7 here for the New York Giants. 3rd and 7. Davis Webb surveying the defense, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Gallman into the game at halfback. He's going to drop back to pass again on 3rd and 7. Again, not much of a rush, and he's able to find Will Tye underneath. It's a first down for the New York Giants.
Will Tye, 5 receptions, 104 yards, probably another 4 or 5 targets that were either intercepted or overthrown. Right now, the game plan is get the ball to Will Tye. No Evan Ingram, but apparently it doesn't matter. Whoever's playing tight end is the guy.
And the guy right now is Tye. Tye the guy for the Redskins. I didn't have another rhyme after that one. Is Paul Perkins is going to run outside. He'll get the first down at the 45-yard line as he essentially doubles up his number of yards on the day. As they go outside the tackles, the New York Giants recognizing Washington bring a lot of pressure up the middle. And that's probably going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 16-10 your score right now. As it does take us to the 2-minute warning. Washington, 2 timeouts left. They're not out of this game yet, Sonny. But it did sort of feel like the entire Washington sideline was deflated by that Zach Belisari interception.
Yeah, that one hurt, and you know what? They're probably wishing they had that timeout back when they called that monster formation and had to call the timeout. That would come in handy right about now.
Bunch formation, 3 over to the left, 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. Pistol for Davis Webb and the New York Giants. Paul Perkins behind him on 1st and 10. They're going to hand it off to Paul Perkins over to that right side. Oh, Norman with a great tackle in the backfield. Loss of 4 on the play as Washington's going to use one of those timeouts, bringing up a 2nd and 14. And again, folks, stick with us to the end of the game. We'll have our selection for NBL Live Player of the Game. Sonny, I can safely say the player of the game will not be Zach Belisari. It also will not be the Washington Redskins coaching staff.
Yeah, so you got a question right now. Do the Giants run the ball here, or do they try to throw it?
Well, they're going to run it with Paul Perkins, and, well, when you over-pursue like that, you leave it open. They might have stopped him just shy of the first down. Yep, 3rd and inches. They need a stop here. They had that one stopped, and it looked like the linebacker just sort of waved at Paul Perkins as he went by him.
Yeah, very, very nice run there by Paul Perkins. I guess if you're Washington, you just go heavy formation and
give it to the fullback.
Sell out. You got to stop them here.
Yep. If I'm New York, I'm handing this one to the fullback and pounding it, making Washington at least use that last time out, even if you don't get these 6 inches you need. Davis Webb changing up the play as he surveys the defense, showing a lot of blitz up the middle. It's going to be a toss play out to Paul Perkins. They get cute with a fake to the fullback and toss it to Perkins, and they give Washington life. They need a touchdown. They have no timeouts, but New York's going to be forced to punt this one away.
What the heck was that?
It's called overthinking yourself. This has been a bizarrely coached game. But so far, the one thing that's been really good for the New York Giants has been the special teams. They have pinned Washington deep on the 5-yard line twice. See how this punt goes. It's another great one. Grant's going to have to catch this one with his heels in the end zone, and he goes right up to his own blocker and headbutts him in the back, goes down to the 13-yard line. So Washington needs to go 87 yards from the 13-yard line and get a touchdown. It's going to be tough, but we've seen some weird stuff happen on NBL Live.
Yes, we have, and I think we can get another one here. I like Washington's chances as long as they work the outside of the numbers.
1st and 10. It's going to be Zach Belisari driving back to pass, looking over to the right side, and he immediately throws an interception, and we're just done with this game. Janoris Jenkins, I believe, with the interception on that side. Oh, no, that was Floyd with the pick. And the New York Giants are going to come away with a win here at home, 16-10. Zach Belisari. What grade would you give him for this game?
Probably an F.
Yeah, F for Zach Belisari. Samaje Perine?
Probably an F as well.
Well, so far not great. Josh Doxson had a nice game.
Josh Doxson was okay. Kind of vanished in crunch time.
The Washington offense was absolutely horrendous. And Sonny, this is a team that is at 5-2, and now going to drop to 5-3, but in the lead in their division. I mean, is the offense really this non-existent?
I believe so.
Okay, well, that's fair. As New York's going to kneel this one out, and we're going to get to the end of the game. New York, a big win, 16-10. But, Sonny, one that's not without questions. Davis Webb, frankly, folded in the second half. Played pretty poorly. The run game was real bad. They just managed to convert a little more. That safety, I think, was huge for their momentum. And their defense really carried them through this game.
Yeah, the defense definitely showed up late in this game when they stops. The offense kind of sputtered in the second half, but it was enough to win this game.
Your final score once again from New York, the Giants coming away with a win 60-10. Both teams now sitting there at 5-3 at the top of the NFC East. It's going to be a sprint to the finish. Time for our selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game here for broadcast. I don't even know what broadcast number we're on at this point. We've had so many weird things happen on NBL Live. I think we're at 156. Sonny, thoughts on player of the game? I think my initial inkling would be Will Tye because he got into the end zone and he was sort of the main target for the New York Giants throughout the game. But if you have another suggestion, throw it at me.
Let's go with Will Tye. I think the guy was definitely the staple of the game plan tonight, and he showed up big for him.
Yeah, big shout out to Will Tye. He'll be your player of the game selection. If you want to check out all of our player of the game selections, head over to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the NBL Live tab, you can check out the player of the game all the way back to broadcast numero uno, a nice look back through NBL history. If you want to join the NBL, under the Join tab, you can fill out an application. We'd love to see you in the grid and in the NBL. Sonny, well, we've had a slight change. I'm going to throw up this NBL Live schedule. We've had a slight change to the schedule. The Week 10 game, we actually had a lot of changes in the schedule. This Week 9 game was supposed to be Texans and Titans. Instead, we brought you this matchup here on this Monday night. Now we got Week 10. It's supposed to be Broncos and Packers. That's actually been flexed out. We've got a great game featuring your Tennessee Titans, Sonny. The Titans and the Los Angeles Chargers. Two teams sitting there with one loss apiece. A clash of powerhouses. Sonny, the game's finally here. I know you've seen this one on your schedule. What are you looking for in that game, and what's your game plan going in?
Well, I think the game plan going in is I'm going to try to score more points than I allow them to score on me. And, hopefully if that all works out, I win the game.
I just want everyone to take this moment in, and when you go to Highly Debatable and vote #SunnyWins, realize what you're voting for, okay, folks? Let's be knowledgeable when you vote, because that's what you just voted for. The old John Madden, score more points than the other team. So thanks for your insight, Sonny. We certainly appreciate it, and good luck to Gub that night. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. But at the end of the day, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in here to broadcast number 156. Sonny, I believe we have that game scheduled. It's going to be Wednesday night, I believe, at 8 o'clock Eastern. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, you can see the Titans and the Chargers, a clash of one-loss teams in the AFC. That AFC, top of the AFC, is cluttered with a bunch of one-loss teams, so it should be a great matchup. Don't miss that one, 8 o'clock Eastern. Follow us on Twitter at Bomber League, so you know each and every time that we will post our game times for NBL Live, or you can just hit that subscribe button so you know when we go live. All right, let's get out of here, folks. We appreciate you tuning in to a little Monday night action. It's finally Week 10, hallelujah. For my co-host, Sonny Lever, I'm OSU. Your final score, once again, the New York Giants coming out on top to tie up the NFC East. They win 16-10 at home. We'll see you Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Titans and Chargers right here on NBL Live.